What's bigger than tariffs? What's a bigger concern than tariffs? More danger, more fear, potentially, than tariffs. Going to explain it all in this video here. Talking about the price has been no indicator whatsoever, all about value. My last video, you need to go and check that out. I'll put you a link at the end of that. But a bigger issue than tariffs, it's the vaccine stocks. Huge opportunity here. No investment though for those who are invested in the vaccine stocks. What do I mean by that? I'll explain. Have some patience, wait. And bullish and bearish, it's all been proven to be rubbish. It's all about value. It always has been. It always will be. Wait till the end of this video and I'll give you my video from yesterday, which will tell you all about that. I'm a long-term investor. I simply buy value. I bought the S&P because it's oversold. 19.7% times earnings is always a buy. It's been as low as 6 and as high as 27. Anything under 20 is a buy. If the economy is strong and the stocks in the index are doing well. They are. Most stocks have been sleeping for a while but have woke up this year, but the party's been spoiled by the tech stocks being sold off. So we've had fears of tariffs. We've been talking about it for days. And tomorrow is April the 1st. April Fool's Day. We'll be live, of course, for it, but the big event happens on Tuesday. Could be a big surprise. I've got lots of information to come tomorrow, but that's not for today. Today, we're moving on from tariffs. We don't need to focus on tariffs. Why? Because as long-term investors, we bought the dip. I've had my second, in fact, this is now my biggest ever swing on a day. We're over $5.5 grand. We're nearly $6,000 now. That's my biggest move ever in one day. Why has that happened? Well, I'm fully in. I've been buying the dips. I've been using margin to amplify it. I don't have to worry about tariffs. Tariffs are a major concern, but not for me as a long-term investor because I bought value. I'm from England, but I invest in America. I believe in American economy. I believe in American businesses, more so actually. And I bought the dips. I bought the bottom. I bought more all the way down and amplified it on the way down. But now we've got a bigger concern. Something much, much bigger. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the vaccine stocks. No investment, no reason to make money. Let me explain what I mean. The vaccine stocks, things to do with getting vaccinated or vaccinated. That's probably the best term. Okay, vaccinated. The concern I've got now is we've got a gentleman, Mr. Kennedy, in power, who's in charge of the vaccines, who is he doesn't believe in it. He doesn't believe in taking vaccinations. And that's fine. I prefer to listen to the scientists and the doctors, and I've taken vaccinations all my life. And in fact, the vaccination I took prevented me from getting seriously ill with COVID because I have actually a asthma condition, and I was one of the first in the US to get vaccinated. I was high risk, and I'm glad I did because when I got COVID, I didn't have any problems because I was properly vaccinated. Well, all over Texas now, where I am, people are getting the measles. Hasn't been around for generations, but it's coming back again because young children aren't taking vaccinations anymore because of someone who knows nothing about medicine is telling them not to do it. And they're listening to that person. And now we've got a big issue. The big issue is, of course, vaccinations not being done and people getting the measles all over the place. The bigger issue, though, if you're not interested in pandemics and everybody dying and stuff like that, if that's not important, is this issue here. SPDR and S&P Biotech ETF. Look at the state of this. Let me just take away my screens here and show you how bad this is. Now, why is this important? 7% in a week. We've got a reduction of 7.62 on the month. Over 3 months, basically since Trump's been in power, this new guy, Mr. Kennedy, we've had 10% drop in biotech. This is the main biotech ETF. And if you look at which stocks are in it, these are the top vaccine companies. Okay, this is not like J&J Pharmaceuticals. This is vaccines. Okay, really important. These stocks here are the leaders in supplying us with vaccinations. Now then, why is that important? Why am I concerned about this? Well, this sector is regarded as a bellwether. It can be defensive. However, it's going down because investors realize that this stock is going to be legislated, and more people don't want to be vaccinated. Whether it's right or wrong, you can decide. But no one's going to invest in this stock right now, so it's going down and down and down. I think it's the next big thing after tariffs. I'm always looking ahead at the next thing. We've moved on from tariffs now. That'll take care of itself. But this right now is a major concern. And let me tell you why it's a major concern. And I bet you it's not for the reason that you think. Let me explain exactly what I mean. Here we go. It's a major concern because sadly, people do not invest in vaccine companies unless people are going to have vaccines and spend money buying the drug. Now, we all know that the pharmaceutical and medicine businesses and all the rest of it have lots of corruption. We've all seen the documentaries telling us how bad this sector can be, and people get addicted to all sorts of things, and there's lots of fraud, and there's lots of other things that go on which we don't really want to focus on. We understand that this market can be a very, very toxic market. However, rightly or wrongly, science is science, and investing is investing. And if people aren't getting vaccinated anymore, the companies that build and create and design and invent, and however you want to word it, the vaccinations aren't going to do it. Because if there's no money in it, if there's no benefit to them spending millions and billions of dollars bringing out new vaccines, no investors will support it, and there will be none. Now, first of all, initially, for this particular ETF, this is really bad news, because this ETF has gone down way more than it should have done. However, for me, it's an opportunity. This is where I'd be putting my money right now if I wasn't buying the S&P. I'd be buying this because one thing is for sure. Whether you believe in science or you don't, or you think the whole thing's a con, that's up to you. But when people get ill and people start dying, people will take vaccinations. That's what they did during COVID. That's what they've always done. That's what they always will do. And those that don't take the vaccinations now are adverts and commercials for those who are getting ill all around me here in Texas. People that aren't vaccinated are getting the measles now, and they're wondering why. Well, it's kind of obvious. You are the unvaccinated and you're the ones getting it. So no surprise, but this will go on for a while. They'll blame somebody else. They'll blame something else, but ultimately it was their decisions. Now, I just hope those that aren't vaccinated don't catch it and die and all the rest of it. But you know, if people are choosing not to get vaccinated, there's nothing we can do about that. That's their decision. However, those that aren't, of course, there could be others that could be in a higher risk and get much more seriously ill because of your silliness. But the point is, these stocks are going to go down for a while because no one's investing, no one's making any money from these stocks, so everyone's selling out. And these are regarded as a defensive position. So they're all being sold out. So I see it as an opportunity because at some point in the near future, when enough people catch the measles, when enough people start dying, as awful as it might be, people might start once again thinking, oh, hang on a minute, maybe it's a good idea to get vaccinated and prevent from all of this stuff. So these will pick up again. Now, here's the problem. Here's the danger. It's not a matter of, well, I'm not bothered. I don't care. If you get vaccinated, that's up to you. If you don't, that's up to you. If you buy this stock, that's up to you. If you don't buy the stock, it's up to you. The danger is, the warning is this. I'm going to give you the reason why this is dangerous. Not because of, do we get a pandemic and we all die? This is the real danger. What I think is the major issue is not whether you believe in vaccinations or not whether you buy or lose on this stock. The problem is this. Industries can be wiped out so people don't come back and don't reignite these businesses. Now, what I mean by that is we've only got certain things in life, medicines, vaccinations, and great technology because people invested in it. It didn't just happen. Elon Musk didn't just magically wave his hands in the air and bring out an electric car. Didn't just magically bring out spaceships. It was done because people backed something. People put their money into something. Right now, though, no one is putting money into biotech. It's being sold off. This is the main index for it, and it's being sold off because of we just had one of the leaders resign a few days ago, and people are giving up in this space, going, we can't win in this space. The government want to abolish this area, get rid of vaccinations, so we can't do anything. Now, that's all very well and good. If you don't believe in vaccinations, you'll go, great, it was all a con anyway. I don't stand with you. I think it's ridiculous, but that's up to you if you want to believe that. I just hope I don't get ill because you didn't get vaccinated, but that's another issue. If this stock goes down, we can buy it. That's okay then, great, what an opportunity. However, if this industry dies, there's going to be nobody left to bring out the next vaccinations. The stock could go down and down and down 90%. And the businesses could go out of business. There are no businesses now. You can't assume that businesses are going to be around just because you now decide it's a good idea and they're just waiting to make vaccinations again. They can go out of business. And we need companies like this to exist, just in case. I mean, if it wasn't for vaccinations, maybe COVID would have wiped out the world. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just know the vaccination saved me from getting a lot worse, and my doctor said it's a good idea, so I believe my doctor more than I believe the bloke down the pub. Kind of obvious, really. But anyway, some people don't think like that. But if we let this industry completely die, and all these businesses go out of business, there is going to be no companies making vaccinations. And there is the real danger. If for then some reason we do have a new pandemic or the measles gets out of control, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how serious that may or may not be. But if there are no companies making vaccinations and there are no vaccinations available, things could get a lot worse much quicker. And then, of course, the economy has a much bigger issue because we've got a pandemic which no one can control and there's nothing we can do to stop it. So just to these points here, we're looking at the stock market, seeing it go down. Price is no indicator. I'm using that phrase. I used it yesterday with this particular stock because at the end of the day, price is not what it's about. It's about the value. Should you be buying these businesses? Well, I don't know. If they go out of business because no one's investing in them at all and legislation gets made so nobody, we just wipe vaccinations off the face of the earth, that could be a bad idea. Vaccine stocks, no investment. If no one's putting any money in, we could lose it all. Wait, patience, bullish, bearish, all of that stuff is rubbish. Look for value and look for facts right now. So what do you think? Do you agree with me? Could this be the next major issue? Forget tariffs. If everybody starts getting ill and something much more serious than the measles, and I don't know how serious the measles are, I'm not a doctor. At the end of the day, though, if you destroy the biotech industry, they're not going to be around just because it's now a penny stock. They just simply won't exist. These businesses take years to build, like relationships that we're destroying at the moment. You can't just get them back in 5 minutes. So what do you think? Leave me your thoughts below in the comments. I'm making this during a live stream. I'm going to go to my members now and see what they think of this. I maybe open up the phone line and ask for a live phone in. But this concerns me. Tariffs, I'm not worried about anymore. Not because my stocks are up today, because I bought the value. I don't care whether the stock goes up, down, left or sideways. I own the S&P at value. That's it. You can't take away that from me. You can't take that away from me. I bought the S&P when it's value. I'm not waiting for the 2nd of April for it to go up. So I'm not worried what Trump does, doesn't do, what tariffs do, whatever. It is a concern and it's an issue to look at, but I've bought the S&P under value. I'm more concerned right now about the biotech stocks being destroyed because at the end of the day, if these go to zero, who is going to bring us the next round of vaccines that we may or may not use? I'm not going to let you decide. I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong to have a vaccination, but all I can tell you is I've never had any major illness and I've had all the vaccinations that my doctor recommended throughout my life, and maybe that's helped me. Maybe it hasn't, but I'm assuming the doctor knows a little bit more than I do. Mr. Kennedy hasn't got a clue. In my opinion, that's up to you. He's not a doctor, is he? At the end of the day. All right, so there's all my thoughts. I'm now going to go to the live chat and see what everyone has to say. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here and over here, I'll put something else you'll find useful. 2 videos I think will help you get ready for April the 2nd. Until then, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.